You have probably never been able to fully explain it. The way you can walk into a situation and immediately sense that something is off, even when everything looks perfectly normal on the surface. The way a conversation can be going smoothly, pleasantly, and you are already 3 steps ahead of it, already aware of the undercurrent, already tracking the thing that has not been said yet, but is building pressure underneath every word that is being said. The way you can meet someone for the first time and know things about them that you could not possibly know from a single interaction. Not facts. Something deeper than facts. The shape of them. The weight they are carrying. The gap between who they are presenting and who they actually are. Most people in your life have probably described this as intuition. A few of them have found it unsettling. And you yourself have spent a significant amount of time wondering whether it is real, whether you are imagining it, whether there is something unusual about the way your brain processes the world, or whether everyone else is simply less interested in paying attention. Here is what the neuroscience and psychology of perception actually say. Your brain is not imagining it. It is not overreacting. It is doing something genuinely unusual, something that most brains are not wired to do at the level yours does. And the signs of this wiring are specific, traceable, and far more coherent than most people who carry this ability have ever been shown. Welcome back. Let's get into it. The first sign is that you are fluent in a language most people do not know exists. Human beings communicate on 2 channels simultaneously. There is the verbal channel, the words, the sentences, the explicit content of what is being said. And there is the nonverbal channel, the tone, the timing, the posture, the micro-expressions, the energy in the room, the things that shift in a person's face for a fraction of a second before their social training reasserts control. Most people are primarily literate in the verbal channel. They listen to words and process words and respond to words. But a brain wired for pattern recognition is running both channels at full sensitivity simultaneously. It hears the words, and it reads everything else at the same time. And when those 2 channels do not match, when the words say one thing and everything else says something completely different, the pattern-reading brain flags it instantly, automatically, before conscious thought has even had time to engage. This is not a skill that was practiced. It is an architecture, and if you have ever known something was wrong in a conversation before you could explain why, you have experienced this architecture running exactly as it was built to run. The second sign is that you think in systems rather than in isolated events. When something happens, an argument, a sudden shift in someone's behavior, an unexpected outcome, most people process it as a single event. They respond to it, manage it, and move on. But a brain wired for pattern recognition does not process events as isolated. It immediately begins looking for the system the event belongs to. It asks, without being asked to ask, where have I seen this before? What does this connect to? What is the pattern underneath this moment? What is this a symptom of? This is why people with this kind of wiring so often see consequences coming that other people do not see until they arrive. It is not a prediction in any mystical sense. It is the natural output of a brain that is always reading the pattern underneath the event rather than just the event itself. The third sign is that dishonesty creates a physical response in you, not a moral judgment. A physical one. When someone lies to you, even a small, socially acceptable lie, even a lie told out of kindness, something in your body registers it before your mind has consciously processed what happened. A slight tension, a drop in the quality of your attention, a quiet internal alert that something in the information you just received does not cohere with the information your other channels are simultaneously collecting. Most people experience this occasionally and dismiss it. A brain wired for pattern recognition experiences it constantly and cannot dismiss it, because the system is designed not to dismiss it. The system is designed to catch exactly that signal and hold it. The fourth sign is that you are exhausted by environments that other people find perfectly comfortable. Social events, group settings, busy workplaces. These are not necessarily unpleasant for you in the way they might be for someone who is simply introverted. The experience is more specific than that. It is the exhaustion of a system that is running at full capacity in an environment that is producing an enormous volume of input. Every person in the room is a channel. Every conversation is a data stream. Every social dynamic is a pattern to be read and cataloged and cross-referenced. You are not avoiding the stimulation. Your brain is processing all of it, simultaneously, automatically, whether you want it to or not. By the time you leave, you have done the cognitive equivalent of running a full analysis on every interaction in that room. The fatigue is not social. It is computational. The fifth sign is that you have an uncomfortable relationship with small talk. This is not because you are antisocial or because you consider yourself above ordinary conversation. It is because your brain is constantly aware of the gap between what small talk contains and what it conceals. While the surface conversation is moving through its predictable rhythms, the weather, the weekend, the vague and mutually agreeable assessments of things, another part of your mind is already reading the person in front of you at a different level entirely, already noticing what they are careful not to say, already picking up the emotional frequency underneath the pleasant neutrality of the words. Small talk is not boring to a pattern-reading brain. It is frustrating, because it is a conversation happening entirely on one channel while the other channel is full of signals that no one is acknowledging. This is the moment in this video that matters the most. And if what you have heard so far has been describing you with a precision that feels almost uncomfortable, subscribe to this channel right now. This is exactly the kind of understanding we build here. The psychology underneath the experience. The neuroscience underneath the feeling. The coherent explanation for the way your mind works, that most people who are wired like you have spent years looking for and never quite found. Hit subscribe and stay with us. The sixth sign is that you have been called too sensitive, too intense, or too much by people who also came to you when they needed to be understood. This is one of the most painful and most consistent experiences reported by people whose brains are wired for deep pattern recognition. In ordinary moments, in moments when their perception is inconvenient or uncomfortable, they are too much. They are reading into things. They are overthinking. They need to relax. And then, something real happens. A crisis, a decision with genuine weight, to a moment when someone needs to be seen, and understood, and known. And suddenly the same person who was too much is the only one being called. Because everyone around them has always known, on some level, that the person who sees the most is the one who can be trusted with what actually matters. The cost of that trust is that they are simultaneously valued for their depth and penalized for it in equal measure. The seventh sign is that you feel other people's emotional states as if they were your own, not through any process you choose or control, not as an act of empathy that you consciously extend, but as an automatic, immediate, full-body experience of whatever the person near you is carrying. This is called somatic empathy in clinical psychology, and it is far more common in people with highly active pattern recognition systems than in the general population. It is, in one sense, the most extraordinary feature of a brain wired this way. It is also the most costly, because it means that you do not simply observe that someone is in pain. You carry it. You bring it home. You feel it hours after the person who was experiencing it has moved on. The signal does not turn off when the environment changes. The system keeps processing it. The eighth and final sign is the one that ties all the others together. You have always known, in some quiet and persistent way, that you experience the world differently from most of the people around you. Not better. Not worse. Differently. And that difference has been, at various points in your life, a source of profound ability and profound loneliness in almost equal measure. The ability to see what others miss. The loneliness of seeing what others miss and having nowhere to put it. The gift of understanding people deeply. The exhaustion of understanding people deeply and not being understood at the same depth in return. This wiring is not an accident, and it is not a disorder. It is a specific neurological profile, what researchers in sensory processing and high-sensitivity science describe as a deeply responsive nervous system that processes environmental and social information at an unusually comprehensive level. It was almost certainly shaped by both temperament and experience, by the environment you moved through in your earliest years, by what that environment required of you. And it has produced a mind that is, in the most genuine and non-sentimental sense of the word, rare. What rare requires is not fixing. It is not a softer version of yourself that notices a little less and rests a little more. What rarely requires is understanding real, specific, grounded understanding of the system you are living inside. Because a system that is understood can be worked with. It can be protected where it needs protecting. It can be trusted where it has earned trust. It can be given the conditions it needs to function at its fullest rather than burning itself out, managing an environment that was not built with it in mind. You are not too much. You are not broken. You are not imagining it. You are wired differently. And the wiring, when it is finally understood for what it actually is not something to be corrected. It is something to be used. Which of these 8 signs landed hardest for you? And has anyone in your life ever truly understood what it costs you to be wired this way? Tell me in the comments. I want to know. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.